You are now tuned into FNL Radio.
Hey, what is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of FNL TV. It's your boy Doc coming at you all, and as you see, I'm rocking the pink right now because today is Friday, but it's not just any Friday though, everyone. It is Pink Friday. Yes, everybody, this is like this perfect time for this to fall on a Friday too, people. Pink Friday. But anywho, because it's the 10th anniversary of Nicki Minaj's debut album, Pink Friday. It came out Tuesday, November 20th. 2010. So 10 years later, we're gonna go down memory lane right now. I'm gonna tell you how I became a Nicki fan and you know, that whole journey there, if you will. Now, first off, my prerequisites and let y'all know I love everybody. I love Nicki, I love Cardi, I love Megan, all the female girls that's doing it right now. I love everybody. Don't come in this video with no mess, everybody. I love everybody, so don't come with the mess. I'm a fair, equal opportunity type of person, if you will. So please, let's all get along for the sake of today. No, Pink Friday went on to sell 3 million copies since its release. Went number 1. I remember it debuted at number 2, but then eventually went number 1 the next week. I can't believe it came out the same week. Did Kanye Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy come out the same week? I'm trying to remember. So 10 years later, here we are, Nicki Minaj celebrating the 10th anniversary of Pink Friday. From that whole journey 10 years ago, let's think back, people. So I remember, first let's just go back to the back. So Nicki, when she came out with Playtime Is Over, that was 07. That was summer 07, graduated high school, getting ready to go to college. So I remember hearing about this new girl, Nicki, and I was like, okay, all right, because you really didn't have a lot of female rappers at that time. I mean, you had, of course, Eve was still popping at that point. You had Missy, who was, you know, here and there with the music at that point, but she was still coming out with some singles here and there. But you didn't really have a lot of female rappers at that moment. Sucker Free came out the next year. I was like, okay, I was in college by that point. Then Beam Me Up Scotty 09, and I just remember that album came out a couple of weeks after my 19th birthday, and that really made me fall in love with Nicki and made me really like, okay, I can't wait till she comes out with something. I'm focused on who she's going to become, because I'm like, she's something different. Like, she raps, she sings. Like, who does that? Like, when she did the joint Stella Rise, I was like, okay, like, this is someone who I really want to focus on. Y'all remember BT had a show called The Deal, and I actually still have a copy of it on DVD. I remember that episode, and she was talking to Memphis, and I was just focused on her interviewing skills and stuff like that. Of course, I remember the DVDs and stuff from back then, but that episode in particular, I don't know why it was just like a Star is Born. So then we go into Massive Attack, which I'm not gonna lie to you, Massive Attack was my shit, and y'all let Massive Attack flop. The video was dope too. I mean, she had Hype Williams directing her first video. We got Tom Tom's over here bigger than the monster. Like, that was my shit. I like Massive Attack. The video was dope too. You know, Amber Rose in the video. Nicki, if you can just one good time, just perform that song on tour, like, forget that it flopped and stuff like that. You know, a lot of artists revisit their old stuff and be like, you know what? That wasn't bad at all. Just because it flopped, Nicki, perform it one good time, you know, cause that was my shit, honestly. So I remember Your Love had leaked out. And it was a different version than the version you hear on the album and the single version, but it was a completely different lyrics in the version that leaked out. Your Love was like that one that just broke the box, you know, peaked top 20 on the Billboard Hot 100, and the first of her many charting singles, and she's the most charted female on the Hot 100, and for, you know, in general, like, she is that chick. So then Right Through Me comes out. And initially Kanye wanted to be on Right Through Me. But then, you know, there was other plans, and he was on Blazing, and that was a Blazing record. And then on top of that too, Diane Martell directed the Right Through Me video. So again, she got heavy hitters behind her in the industry already at that point. And then, y'all don't judge me too, But Check It Out is my shit with will.i.am. Like, I know the song word from word. Like that is my shit, honestly. I again, I don't know why, but it's so addictive. Even with the VMA performance at the pre-show, when she did Check It Out in 2010, with the whole robotic thing, SB, at that time, he's Miss Pop Lock and Drop It himself. And I said Miss Pop Lock and Drop It. I'm sorry, people. Mr. Pop Lock and Drop It. Anywho. But yeah, so yeah, he was backstage doing the pop lock and dropping it and everything like that. And I was like, who's this character here? And it was, the whole time it's her man, and he was backing her up, literally backing her up as a backup dancer and as a hype man. That's called love right there. That's genuine love, to let your girl, do her thing and you backing her up. That was love at that point. Because again, it was taking her to another market. It was, marketing her as not just a female rap artist, hip hop artist, but also someone that can sing, someone that's animated, someone that can, do pop and top 40 and electro and dance and all that stuff like that. So that's where it all started really becoming the Nicki train, where she was just doing every type of genre, which we would later see on Pink Friday, Roman Reloaded, which we'll see on later albums and singles and collaborations and whatnot. So it pretty much kind of started with those pop leaning kind of singles like Check It Out and Right Through Me. And then it was time to release the album, and here we had it, Pink Friday. And then Moment for Life with Drake came out. Moment for Life was honestly my shit. That was my anthem. Like, Moment for Life was everything. My S was still is a huge Nicki stan. And I remember that was our joint, and we said that was gonna be our wedding song one day and everything. My brother that got married, him and his wife, that was their first dance song. I was like, shit, you took my idea. Cause they got married in 2011, but they're divorced now. So, anyways, but yeah, that was supposed to be our wedding song, our first dance record, or whatever. But it's still like a holds a connection to me. It's still like a special song that's hard to listen to because of that moment. But it's still my shit to this day, though. Moment for Life with Drake, and yeah, the video, the whole premise of the video, her playing the different characters and stuff like that, it was pretty dope. And so that's always going to be a standout moment for Life. And then she had her moment for life when Pink Friday came out. And I remember listening to this album because I bought this album at, I want to say I bought it at FYE, actually. I bought it at FYE because Target was sold out, Best Buy was sold out and everything like that. But yeah, see, still got the CD. You could tell how much it was listened to. Look at them scratches. I mean, then you had Roman's Revenge with Eminem, which was an epic moment. Like, to have Eminem on your first album as a female rapper, like, honestly, when you think back at it, Eminem really never collaborated with any female rappers before. And then the thing too with Roman's Revenge that surprised me still to this day, like when I listened to the record, but Swiss Beats produced it, like, it didn't really sound like a Swiss record, because usually you hear Swiss, at that time too, from those years up until probably like 2011-ish and probably 2012, he would always say like Swizzy, or he, have his trademark, on the record, but he didn't say any of that, so you didn't really know it was a Swiss Beats record until you looked at the credits. So that was always my favorite record. Did It On Them Again, Bangladesh, did that record. We got SB talking shit on there too. A couple Wet Whites in Case a Bum Bitch Try to Touch Me, ill. Like, who says shit like that? If I had a dick, I would pull out and piss on them. And the fact that in her stage performance too, she would actually take a fucking dildo out people and wave that shit around on stage. Only Nicki. Fly, with Rihanna was a dope record. Save Me is my favorite song, though. Save Me and Here I Am, which is not a Swiss Beats record, but Save Me, shout out to Papa Note from Philly. Save Me was like my shit. I wish that was a single. I remember seeing Nicki perform it, but that's my shit. Save Me is like the vulnerability in that record and just her singing, and that was the song again, which I wish was a single. And then Here I Am was another one too that I really liked a lot as well. What else was on here too? It was some records on here. Dear Old Nicki was a good one too. I really like that one. Again, you hearing the vulnerability of Onika Mirage on that song, and just her talking to herself was something special too. And of course, Your Love was, a record too at that moment. Blazing was one of my favorite songs on there too. Last Chance from Natasha Bedingfield, but again, a collaboration you didn't expect. But I always used to think she sounded like Justin Bieber. I don't know why on Last Chance. I don't know why she sounded like Justin Bieber. But I do like that song too, a good closer to the album. But then you had the bonus tracks, and this is where everything started getting interesting because Super Bass wasn't even a thought. It was just a bonus track, and that was just that. And then all of a sudden, you start hearing, like, she released the video. I remember she released the video, because I was like, why she release the video for a bonus track? And this was before it became like a huge single. She just, shot the video. And the song, you started seeing people like, talk about viral moment. You started seeing people like Selena Gomez and like some of the other Disney girls singing along to Super Bass. And of course, the fan base at that time, who was really largely popular, was like the Disney girls. So that started trickling up and shrinking up, and then became what Super Bass is, and a diamond record, and so forth later. And here we are. Super Bass, a major moment that really broke Nicki through to the pop crowd. Like, again, she had little moments where she was trickling in, and it peaked at number 3 on the Hot 100, became her biggest hit at that moment. But again, it broke her into the pop market for sure. And I remember just seeing that rise in her career. And I was just like, wow, like, who would have thought? Like, and it was interesting. It was fun to see because, again, at that point at FNL Radio, so we was talking about her every week on the show, and all positive things and all good things. I had the doc report, again, like I said, my ex-fiance was a stan, so it was like in my household religiously, Nicki all day, every day. And I remember too, the first time I saw Nicki in concert was actually at Powerhouse in 2010. And this was like a couple of weeks, this was October, so it was like a few weeks before the release of Pink Friday. And then I saw her again during that whole Pink Friday era, was actually the Britney Spears Femme Fatale tour in Jersey. And I remember seeing her there. And again, it was interesting because like she was on the remix to Till the World Ends for Britney Spears and Kesha. Again, another pop moment, another record that peaked at number 3 on the Hot 100. But to see her go on tour with Britney Spears, like, that was crazy. And she was on the Wayne tour, I Am Music tour too. And I remember seeing her there. But then seeing her on tour with Britney Spears was just like, wait, like, you gotta really think about this. Like, Nicki Minaj, who just came out with her album, not even a full year ago, is now on tour with the Queen of Pop, Britney Spears, and on a remix with her, and performing with that remix with her on stage, performing this remix with her on the Billboard Awards, and then again on tour. That was a moment. Like, they both Sagittarius, so it was like a whole moment. So yeah, Nicki, when the whole Pink Friday era, the Fly video was nice too. The Didn't Know Them, the live video and stuff like that. But yeah, if anything, I wish Save Me would have been the single. Catch Me was my shit too, and Catch Me wasn't on the album. I think it was just a Best Buy exclusive. But of course, when you do that LimeWire MP3 and whatnot, you can get the other tracks. But yeah, and Money and Girls Fall Like Dominoes. Yeah, Nicki, who would have thought that 10 years later after the release of this album that she again would be propelled to be the female artist that have broken barriers, honestly, that haven't been broken in a while, and propel it and do these different genres like hip hop, rap, with a little rock moment. What was that? The record that she did with Lil Wayne? Yeah, Knockout from that Rebirth album, that Lil Wayne rock album at that time. And then do the dance records with David Guetta and all these different collaborations with different artists like Justin Bieber, Rihanna, countless others and so forth. And now, Tasha Cobbs Leonard and so forth. Like, so many people she's collaborated with throughout these years. And you just think, like, it pretty much started with Pink Friday. Like, it started with just her levitating up from the flop that was Massive Attack. But she didn't just let that stop her. Like, her and Cash Money, they just kept going, and Young Money, and they just kept propelling, and it got her to the place she is today. And like you really think like what would it be without Nicki Minaj right now? Like she really has made female rap entertaining, and she has laid the blueprint for people like Cardi and Megan and so forth, because we just had at that point, and when I grew up, it was just Kim, Foxy, Queen Latifah, MC Light, Missy, um, I'll throw Soleil in the midst. I'll throw a Mel in the midst. You know what the Gucci name? Shout out to Mill. And what else? Who else we had? The Brat. But again, you get my drift though. Like those female rappers, even all of them, they were kind of like fledging into other parts of their careers. Like they was doing TV shows and movies and fashion lines and stuff like that. So the music wasn't really a priority at that point anymore. And then Nicki came in and really started taking shit up. Oh, Remy too, of course. But again, Nicki brought a different energy that just made it exciting, and that's what it is. So yeah, shout out to Nicki Minaj, 10 years of Pink Friday, a good album to this day, and I'm gonna listen to this. Like I actually go back and I listen to this album a few different times, throughout the year, because it's just that good of an album. I still to this day feel ways about that Pink Friday Roman Reloaded album cover that came out on my birthday, April 2nd, 2012. But that's not the topic of this video. This is to celebrate Pink Friday, everybody. So y'all go stream, download, listen to Pink Friday if you haven't. I don't know why you haven't, but go listen to it, everybody. And congratulations to Nicki and her little family now with with Kenny Petty and little baby Petty. So they are really the petty ass family. Shout out to the Petties. But yeah, everybody, have a good day. Stay safe and masked up. And don't spread Big Rona around. Peace. Oh, and check out FNL Radio on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, wherever you listen to your podcast. And subscribe, comment, and like this video. Forgot about that too. There you go. Peace.